Josiah asked to check out his website. He's trying to do more promotion on it and trying to get more engagement and more activity, more traffic and all that good stuff to his site. So let us do that and have a look at what it is. Alright, so here it is. He needs some help building and promoting, sharing his social, innovative and transformative learning blog site. So let us open up a new window so that I don't have heaps of tabs all open, and let us get that URL. So first impressions with URL, it's a .org organization. The 2020s perfect vision is the URL. Okay, so it's now loading. Okay, still loading, and it's not secure, so it doesn't have SSL certificate protection on this. So that would be, search engines are going to be less likely to want to put this up in its top ranking positions, just by the fact that you don't have a security certificate on your site. Your dark mode on, off. Let's see, dark mode on, dark mode off. Okay, that didn't. The only thing that did was changing this icon here. Didn't change any of that. All right, and these are all, looks like blog posts. So basically the landing page that you get on is just a whole bunch of blog posts, and it's got a top menu with top header, with a logo and the name of the site. It's got an about, contact us, the consensus, and the event. But just looking at this, I would say if this is the page where people are coming to land on, the background image, although it may be fitting for what you are trying to display, when you're actually scrolling through, you can't really see any of the detail in it anyway. Alright, let's have a look here. So you're not getting enough traffic for this tool to pick up on it. Let's see. Okay. Let's just get that up. And so I don't know where your target market is, but let's go and have a look. Let's see some other analytics that we can find. Okay, so I also did a audit, an SEO audit. So here we go. Just open that up. And then we'll start opening up These are the tabs. So this website would also be linked in with other social media accounts. We're not going to go in and do a full audit on this. We're just looking at the website at the moment, but of course you would want social media accounts, you want it linked up, so when you're doing blog posts that you're sharing them out, and you potentially also want other ways of sharing new blog posts and other mediums that you can do content around based on your blog post. So if you did a little short video on YouTube for each of the blog posts that can get out, if you started a TikTok channel and started doing daily videos on blog posts that you have, so you really need to get out and promote all these blog posts going into groups in Reddit and Quora, Facebook, all these kind of places, and answering questions with your blog posts. You can also do search engine keyword finding to see what people are searching for. Then you can also go in and do tools to show you topical intent and questions around your the keywords, so that the blog articles that you're doing are going to be SEO smart, being that they're going to be articles that people are actually searching for, and you are targeting the words, the communication that your target audience uses to try and find out this information. So you have to have a match. You can't just write it all completely in your own language if your own language is not the same kind of language that your target market or the people who would get the most benefit, the most value from your content are going to use. So you need to find out the language, you need to find out how they're asking the questions that you answer, and be really clear about the problem that you solve. I'd also have then the landing page, or the first page that they come onto, needs to be very clear about what you do. So we'll look up the about, sorry for the internet speed. This is my computer being on, and all the rest of it, I'm sure, is having an impact on this as well. Okay, so in the about, you've just got when the squad realizes you just created heaven on earth. Yeah, cool. Love that. And it's got a little donation for the healing and transformation of the world. Becomes a year of Jubilee, total debt forgiveness. Yeah, awesome. Would be a social and education website that is meant to organize collective action in an organic social movement, compounded with good people who advocate for unity and starting society over at year zero, clean state together with a more sustainable. Yeah, cool. All right, so then he's got commenting down here, and you've got Facebook group that we can, also connect with. This is another person. I think this is not related to what you're doing, but someone else has used the opportunity to share their Facebook link. And then someone else taking the opportunity also to wanting to connect. And you've got it open where they can do more. All right, so down the bottom here, you've still got your template text here. So this isn't anything to do with you. You need to change this up and make it so it's all to do with you. You've got, your numbers and all that kind of stuff, and your different quick links from the menu there. You've got your social media, but none of these are connected, so they all just go into SitePad. So you need to connect up which ones you've actually got in here in your back end, and you've got a terms and conditions, but nothing to link to, so I can't see that. And you are displaying your theme. You don't have an updated copyright on here. It's got 2001. We're in 2002, so that just makes you look unprofessional. Also, just all these box and the color matching. Like you got this picture on here, but then you got really stark. I'd soften that up, that contrast. Maybe having it so it's more transparent, not 100% transparent, but like, if you went like maybe 70, 50% transparent with your colors here, so that you could go through and it wasn't so boxy. I would definitely be recommending changing your background images and having this block section here, like you've got these different blocks, how you can kind of make it more softer going through. It feels very outdated. The website, very block here and there, and like here in the about as well. It's all very blocky. So maybe having that in the center, about in the center, having a transparent background. Doesn't need to have this little block going across, so you can see the picture in the background if you needed a picture. But I wouldn't have necessarily a picture with so much detail, just like a landscape picture or something general, because you're not going to see the detail and people are not going to really see the detail. I'd also suggest that you might not have your images optimized, that they may not be getting delivered through a global content delivery network, and they may also not be appropriately compressed and in a WebP image file format, which would be the fastest format for you for optimization with having your website loading. You've got this vision, you've got everything else, and just your call of action. So the website, you just want the call of action on your website to be joining your Facebook group. In the about, that seems prominent, and then reading blog posts so far. Okay, so we've opened up all these pages, so let's go and have a look. We've also clicked on where the call to actions have been to see where it is pointing us to. So we got the about, and that just pointed us to the Facebook group. So this is the Facebook group, 760 members. And that's sharing here. So what you could do, here's a post that is shared by Josiah, the owner of the website. And so it's got then the blog that's coming down here, and then it's got the references underneath the blog post. But up at the top, and how you see it as you're going through, you have to expand it. So there has to be some kind of attention-grabbing thing here, so as to why people would want to click on this post when they're scrolling through Facebook. This image doesn't necessarily say anything particular, but maybe in your niche and who you're targeting, this image speaks really high volume, and that's something that is going to get them to click on it. But definitely you want something more clickbaity. I think it's good to remember with all of this is the intention of the people you are trying to help. So this goes into thinking about the features and benefits. So the features are what we, as kind of the managers, the entrepreneurs, are putting into it. The feature being like, we have an about page, we have a contact us, we have the consensus, and we have the event up here. These could be features of the website, but they don't actually, as features, they mean something to us, but to the user, to our intended audience, they mean something different. They are the benefits. So what is the benefit for them to going into this about? What is the benefit for them to contacting us? All the rest of it. And we need to make those benefits really, really clear. So like cars could have a feature that means that the engine is more fuel efficient. And so the benefit of that is that it's cheaper to run. So consumers don't necessarily care that the car is more fuel efficient. They care that it's going to cost them less money. Okay, so I think that might be that if you work on swapping those features around and talking about the benefit, so that when people are coming here, they know exactly, like, there's a clear reason behind it. There's a clear benefit for them. So donate page and then comment. So it's asking too if you can have an audio version, so text to speech stuff. So yeah, you could add that in. That's another cool way. You can also turn your blogs into podcasts, into digestible podcasts, and that way you can still keep using the same channels. You can get a text to speech reader if you don't want to read it out yourself. So there's lots of ways to do that. So the contact us page, it was a donation, and then it was people were writing comments. So is it just, so it's just a comment page that they can do, but I think you have comments if you have the comments on your blog post. You don't necessarily, like, it's very like old school, the design layout very simple, but it's a site that's got quite a lot of content. It looks like it's just the easeability of being able to navigate through all this, being able to navigate through all the context, through all the content, the consensus. So then this is the forum. And so forums are kind of like, at the very beginning, have to like almost appear that they're very active, even if they're not. So I know of some other businesses would create all dummy accounts and they would post actively from those dummy accounts. So it looked like there was an active community when really there was only a handful of people that were running it and doing it. So the more posts, the more engagement, the more comments, the more people are attracted to it. And then also getting out and sharing this, and again, what is the benefit? What are people coming here for? What are they going to get here, and why would they want to come here? These images are probably all got to be optimized, and we'll get into that just in a second. So call to action, it's not clear. We are all onboarding, ready to enact. Yep. So how about you? You need to, like, what is this? Why do I want to join? What's the intention here? Keep it real. The event. So this one, so text. Yep. So this is just like a blog post. That's really cool. Like you're saying, and donate, and then comments, and another a bit to comment. So your site is really a lot of content here, and it's when I'm looking then at the SEO audit. So I did an SEO audit on your site, and so we'll look at that. So on-page SEO, lots of improvability can happen. You're sharing on social media. Okay, so okay, so now we're in the event section, and it's got a big image. Oh yeah, sorry, already looked in there. So what are we up to? Looking at page speed. So this is a Google site speed, and so this is kind of going to really affect your SEO ranking and how well your user experience is. Now, search engines like Google want to have the best user experience. They want to make sure that when people are coming to them and searching on their platform, that they're getting relevant searches that give them a high quality experience so that they remember it fondly and go back and use Google again to find more. So your website loading at 46 for mobile, and remember that more and more people are now viewing the web via their smartphones and tabs and all the rest of it. So having a site speed of 46 on the mobile is definitely going to have a massive negative impact on any chance of you ranking any of your pages. The first contentful paint, 3.5 seconds. So this is the first connection kind of coming in. This is the time to load, and this is when the last section came in to load. So it's 17.5 seconds. It's pretty much people are not going to wait around for more than like 2 seconds. So you have got your images that are massive. So just by going to like tiny PNG, a website, you can reduce the size of those images so that your site loads a lot faster. So you need to do image optimization. Your server, I don't know then where your hosting is, or who you're using for hosting, or what type of hosting plan you're on, but that is a pretty poor score. So all these need to be improved greatly. And then you can have a look at a desktop, but we can go to other sites. So this site is doing a desktop performance review, desktop, and it's doing it in the location of Texas, USA. So it's a D, 60% performance, 77% structure. It 4 seconds. And then fully loaded in 14 seconds. Time to interactive is 5.2 seconds. So this is, I think, your images. Yeah, your images are massive. So your site is pretty massive. There's a lot of information that has to go backwards and forwards between the server that's hosting your website and the user. So it doesn't look like you're using a content delivery network. They'll put your website in servers all over the world. So wherever your users are, that tries to give them bits of your website from a location that is more local to the user. Therefore, the distance that the data has to travel is reduced and the speed is improved. So you got 22 meg of images. That is way too massive. Your pages should be under like a meg, I guess. If it's a really heavy, big page, maybe it would be a little bit bigger, but it's really way too big. You need to reduce and optimize your site. So that was to test in the US because I didn't know where you were hosted, but then, well, I know where you were hosted. Your website's hosted in the UK. So I just went and checked it out so we can see your hosting IP address and that you are in the UK, where your servers are, and that was confirmed by 2 sites checking your host location. So these results are in America, so that might definitely be slowing you down. If you're not targeting American viewers or American audience, then your website, if it was in just targeting UK. So then I went and checked and did London test, and it was a C grade, and your page size just absolutely mammoth, and your load time 7 seconds with 135 requests. So a lot of stuff going on there. So you definitely need to do website optimization if you want to have a chance at SEO and you want to optimize your articles for SEO. So the other thing that I looked at is this is the theme that it says you're using, and here's the templates. Now some of these are professional templates, and I don't know if you've purchased this theme or not, but if we've got some of these and on the free one, I'm sure maybe they do a free one, and if you're not very web savvy, then try and stick with the template and go a little bit off if you need to, for your own branding and to personalize it. But if you're not a web developer and don't really know all that kind of stuff, stick to your strengths and just keep it simple. Just the website, the way that it loads is just loading to a default blog, so it's not really utilizing the themes layout much. Okay, and so the other thing that then we want to click is if we click into a post, so there's no sign up for any newsletter or anything that I've seen. There's no other. There's like a forum, and there's a Facebook group, which are kind of doing similar things. I know that they're different. Like the Facebook group is not a forum in the way that you can really break it down and store and archive things, but they're both kind of groups where people are chatting, like texting. Okay. So you put it all in the blocks to be able to read the text. So that's nicer that you can kind of read it. It's clear, like the type font, and that it just looks very like the contrast is very stark between all like the lines there to then this really straight line. I'd go for definitely less busy picture and trying to tie all this in a little bit more and like soften it down by doing more transparent stuff with the background also. And I think if you go on to here, so there is pro versions and there is free ones. If you like the look of one of these, go and have a look at the demos and if you're using just the free, or if you've purchased, you can use the pro ones. See which one would suit your intentions and just try and make it as clear as possible. Try and focus on what it is that the benefits that the website is offering, and being clear on then what action points you want the user to do. I don't know about your sitemap, if it's all just blog, because like this goes back to home, but can't go into blog, or there's no category, so being able to search for articles, there's no little search function. Okay, and so it's very like feature rich, but it needs to focus on the benefits. Okay, so then we looked into the blog post. So the other thing like you're not using any widgets on the side or any other thing, which is fine, just keeping it simple. I'm just going to click on another one and just see. Okay, so another blog post. Alright, so then this one is different. You have here a different background color, different text color than the other. So I guess another thing would be like the branding of this. Keeping it in the same kind of three colors throughout and the same kind of stuff. So all the blog posts are going to lay out as the same. But you can mix it up a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So then you can keep going in this audit. And there's things that then need to be fixed for SEO, but I don't think that the page URLs. So you're using date URLs as well with it. So best practice for SEO to get that would be to have it straight on the domain if you can. So setting it up where it's the blog name and try and have that keyword that you're going for. So you're not redirecting it. So you do have an SSL, but it wasn't redirected. So depending on whether or not someone puts www or not. So you're not getting any traffic from any keywords. You got one person maybe is the estimate. And that's because you got these 10 keywords within 31 to 100. You got a really weak domain authority and only a couple of links referring into you. Here's your breakdown of your pages, links. So linking to yourself, like internal links, when you got one article that's relevant to another article, like suggesting it to the readers so that they can navigate and see connections between. This is also good for search engines so they can see the connections between, making sure that your pictures are also labeled so search engine can see what they are, and a 63 usability. So your email, you might be getting spam there. Your email in plain, which you have the contact you, but they're saying if you put it in a picture. And so very slow, very large site. Let's get a picture. And you're linking to your Facebook page. You haven't installed your Facebook pixel, so for tracking and to retarget visitors on Facebook. If you did want to promote content. Don't have a YouTube channel. Here's what your website is running. Oh, we can see the server IP here. Okay, cool. So that's just a walkthrough of your website and just sharing what is coming to mind, and hopefully you can get some benefit from that. Enjoy.